Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Mary,
I'm Linda.
and we're going to cook something that's a little bit different. It's just it's my version of a casserole. It's just one of my casseroles anyway. So it's what was the weather like? I hadn't been outside.
You
Is
know
it
what?
cool? What?
We were supposed to draw for the apron today.
We sure are. We got to draw for the apron. I guess we're going
We'll have to do that
get off
after
the
we get
camera.
through.
After we
Yes.
get off the camera, we'll get right back on because we have to have my phone to get the
select the
names.
winner.
So you just I turned the wrong burner on, didn't I, Linda?
Got it.
Let me turn this. Get some of that heat out of here, and that's gonna make a lot of racket. I'm gonna turn that off.
Okay.
All right, let me swap these comments here. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to just staying home today. I've
You've just been running.
I have been on the run, but we did meet
David, we had
yesterday.
the best time yesterday, and thank you, David, for lunch.
Yes, we enjoyed that so much, and we'll post a picture. We did get the waitress to take a picture of us, so we'll post that right after sometime or other today. I got where I can't promise you nothing because my schedule is so busy. But
We have good intentions, and sometimes
Yes.
we say we're going to do something and we don't get to because we get sidetracked
Get
so many times during the day. And people say you got too many irons in the fire. Well, let me tell you something. We are used to being busy, but we do have a lot going on, and we're trying to juggle things. So bear with us. This is our first priority, but
Well, I've on the loaded casserole, I've done a few things ahead of time because it has to bake in the oven, 125.
Do we need the oven on?
Yeah, please, Linda. I think it's it's 350. I'm sorry, 350.
we do.
Oh, I do have something. I forgot I put that skillet in the. Here, that skillet is heavy. Let me.
That's all right. I got it.
And put it over here on the table till we finish.
I don't know why. I just happened to think.
Well,
there might
I'm
be
glad
something
you
in the
did.
oven.
I got where I don't put
Here,
anything in the
I'll
oven.
take it
If
here.
you'll do that for me, I thank you, Linda. But like I said, I was going to say I did a few extra thing earlier because it has to bake in the oven for 25 minutes, and I wanted to make sure that we could get it out of the oven and show y'all before the video was over. And you can see I've chopped an onion. I didn't measure that, but that looks like about 2/3 of a cup.
Yeah,
about 2/3 a cup of
it's over
onion.
half a cup.
It's onion. I chopped a whole onion, but I took some of it out to save for other times because I thought that was too much onion. And I'll show you what I've done. This is our new enamel cast iron skillet. Show her the lid, Linda. That's our new lid, and it's got that drip. What do you call it? Non-drip.
It's self-basting. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and this is I put about 3 tablespoons of oil in there, and I chopped up 1 potato and diced it up real small, and I diced up a green pepper, and I had about 1/4 of a red pepper, and I just diced it up too in real small pieces. I'll show you again, and I cooked that with the lid on. I wanted those potatoes to get soft, and I might have cooked them a little bit too long, but I just wanted to make sure the potatoes were done in the casserole, so I just pre-cooked them a little bit. So I'm going to take that out now, and because I'm going to use this same, we can cook in this skillet and then put it right in the oven, and then you can put it also on the table.
Yeah,
So you got
oven to
one
table.
Yeah, you got one dish, but I want to take these potatoes out and cook the meat and onions. You can cook it in any order for the onions and the bell peppers and the potatoes as you want. But that's just the way I'm doing it. Is I'm cooking the onions with the meat. But I could have cooked it with this, but I thought that I had onions and I didn't, so I had to ask Linda to stop and pick me up an onion this morning. So I didn't have the onion when I cooked the taters. So
That looks so pretty and colorful.
yeah. So Linda, I asked you a while ago, how's the weather out there? I hadn't even been outside. Is it still humid and hot?
Well, I didn't feel like I was smothering when I walked out this morning. You know how some mornings you walk out and the air just takes your breath away?
Yeah.
But it's going to be another hot day. I wouldn't doubt if we're going to be under another heat advisory.
This is a pound.
And that's 96.4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it sirloin?
No, it's extra lean ground meat. It's 96.4.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add maybe a tablespoon of oil. Let me see here. I gotta open a new oil.
Do you want me to do that for you?
You can if you want to, Linda. If you want to use the okay, it's a. I might already have. I don't think I have got it open. I'm not gonna put much oil in this. Not maybe a teaspoon, Linda, because I don't. It's for the only reason is for the onions, because
You want to tell me when?
just pour a little bit in. All I want it for is for the onions. That's probably enough, Linda. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I've already chopped this onion, like I told you.
And I got the timer right here, so when the water starts boiling, I'm going to put
Okay,
the pasta
thank you.
in it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love this pasta. It's pretty.
Yeah.
The rotini.
Get all my. I love these little mats because you can just use them.
Do you need that burner on you?
Well, yes, I do. It might be helpful if I just turn that.
Well, we had them on. We
oven on.
turned them off.
Right.
Because we didn't want to get them too hot. So.
All right. So I got the onions in here. I'm gonna be cooking the onions with the ground meat. Well,
And you salt and peppered the potatoes and
I did. I did
peppers.
salt and pepper the potatoes, and after this, I'm gonna let these onions saute just a little bit, and then I'm gonna put some spices in here.
You know what I was thinking about, Mary?
What?
Years ago, Mary and I worked. We pretty much have always done kind of the same kind of work. We've worked together a lot, but we were working for this company that put advertising in store. Remember when we put the
I do.
coupons in
I
the
do.
stores?
I
This
do.
is back before digital coupons.
Yeah.
And they had an opening for a unit manager for this side of the state, East Texas. And so I applied for the job. We were already working for the company. But let me pour this in here.
Okay. Okay.
And set my timer. You said 7 minutes,
I'm
right?
using, yes, please. 7 minutes. This is rotini. Is that how you say it?
Rotini, I think.
Rotini. Pasta. You can use any kind of pasta, but I'm using that, and I'm only using a half a box, which is a half a box. Linda, what about 2 cups?
Yes.
Two cups. You could omit the potatoes and use a whole box of this, but like I said, I'm doing a loaded casserole. I've got everything in the kitchen in it almost. So and I cooked the pasta for 7 minutes. That's all I want it to cook. And Linda, you put the timer on, didn't you?
Yes, I've got the timer right here.
Okay.
Listen, we're using the new timer, and you can set 4 timers at once.
I know,
And
isn't that
you
nice?
love that?
I do. I love
do.
that timer.
And it's real easy to operate
Yeah.
too. Real easy. So they were here all day. The group from Dallas was here
Okay.
all day.
All right.
And I waited after the meeting. Do you want me to do something?
No, I just want you to make sure it don't boil over because
Okay.
when it gets to
I'll
such
turn it
point, it
down.
will. Thank you, Linda.
That I was the last person to interview. The last person for the job.
For this,
Yes.
company.
And so when I went in to interview with Steve, he's, we did the interview and answered all the questions and everything. And at the end of the interview, I told him, I want you to put a star by my name. Do you remember that?
Sounds just like Linda. I remember when she told me that.
And he was a big old guy. Of course, people didn't intimidate me, and I just never have. But people have not intimidated me. But he looked at me and he said, "I'll put a star by whose name I want to put a star by."
Hey, leave it to Linda. She is
It was
bold
so
and
funny,
brave.
but I got the job.
I know she did.
But it was hilarious. I thought about that the other day.
Yeah, I remember those days. Matter of fact, every one of us worked.
We did.
And I become a supervisor, and I had people under me from all around, Arkansas and several states around. And she was my boss, and I was a supervisor over other people.
And we worked hard.
We worked hard on that job.
We had one fall that we were displaying toys, and these were very expensive toys. They were doll houses and huge dolls, and so,
I'm gonna put taco seasoning in this. I don't normally put the taco, but I'm putting taco seasoning in it. I'm
That'd
putting
be
1
good.
tablespoon. Okay.
we staffed 100 stores on one Saturday displaying these toys. 100 stores.
I know, we worked hard, and we put lawn furniture
Yeah.
together, we put toys together. That may be too much.
That's a lot of pepper, Mary.
It is.
You can't put that much pepper in
I
there.
think I'm gonna put
That's
about
a tablespoon.
I'm gonna put about a fourth of a tablespoon. Okay. All right. Anyway,
And that was long before cell phones and all that. We had
I know it.
pagers.
And mounts, we followed mounts.
And these stores were not like Longview and Tyler and these bigger cities. They were Division I stores. They were in
and we
towns
traveled.
that were like 2,000 or 3,000 people.
And we traveled to them in the day. We didn't go. It wasn't
Yes.
an overnight thing. Wherever we went one day and come back that day.
Yes, we sure did.
You know, Chuck worked a little bit on that
Yeah.
job.
It was a very interesting job.
It was.
Well, we worked hard.
Bobby,
We had a good
hey,
group of people too.
Bobby worked some too, and I remember the auditors was coming in to check our work because we was doing so well and had so many stores and everything. So I literally set up all night long before we met him. Remember that, Linda?
Mm-hmm.
Checking papers because they each person under me had to turn in their paperwork.
And this was all paperwork. It
All
wasn't
paperwork.
digital.
And I set up all night checking their work that they had turned in so that they could see that we knew what we was doing and that they were doing their work.
And we had the best unit. We
Yeah, we
had
did.
the best unit in the whole group of our area. And not from that we said, we actually did have the best unit.
We brag about ourselves. When we take a job, we try to do the very
Yes, we
best.
do.
And we're good at it. We work ourselves up till we get good at it.
The first week that I started when I was training, Mama was in Jefferson and she wanted an outside rain gauge. And we went over off 49 and at a feed store, and I jumped out of the car. Mama was in the car, and I jumped out of the car and ran across, and the grass was high, stepped in a hole, and turned my ankle.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And the whole first 2 weeks that I worked on this job, on my feet in these stores, I had a sprained ankle, and it was tough.
I imagine.
But I didn't take any day off. I worked,
Yeah.
even though it was very hard.
I just put a teaspoon of minced garlic in this.
Whew, that smells
Smelling
good.
it?
Yes. This skillet is deep, and I
Yes,
like
it
the way
is.
it rounds
Yes.
over too.
It's a nice size. You could fry
Probably a whole
a
chicken.
whole
in it.
chicken. I mean, it's a nice size skillet,
Probably could.
and it's deep. That's what I like about it. It's deep.
Yeah, I do too.
So you,
And I love these self-basting lids.
yes. Okay, let's see here. Down a little bit. I'll show you the. That's what that's just hamburger, garlic, and onions, and about a tablespoon
Seasoning.
of oil, seasoning, taco sauce.
Pepper,
But now,
black pepper.
black pepper.
Did you
Yeah.
put salt in
You
it?
know what? I did not put salt in that, and I intended to. I salted the potatoes. That's probably enough salt. That was probably what, a teaspoon? Probably.
Probably.
Uh,
That smells
and
really
it,
good.
you know, if your hamburger meat has any oil left in it, or grease, then you would need to drain that. But mine doesn't because of that meat.
Do you want me to bring the camera over there so they can see that?
Well, you can, if you want to. Okay, all right, now I am going to put,
Did I get it back right? Or
it's fine, a can of cream mushroom soup.
Okay, my beeper's going off.
All right, so the pasta's ready. got that all out. I'm gonna turn this burner down because I don't want this to. And then I'm putting 2 cans of tomato soup in here.
Now, you want me to get this pasta out of here?
Well, just give me a second.
Okay.
Take it off. I don't know. It ain't gonna hurt it. Is it to boil? Well, take it off the burner because it really will.
Yeah,
It's too soft.
It's gonna keep cooking.
Yeah. Just give me a second. We'll put it in this. I just gotta mix this together. When I get all this mixed together, then we'll put the pasta in here because I don't want the pasta to keep cooking. Okay. Would you hand me a couple paper, pot holders?
Pot holders.
I'm gonna move that a little closer to me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just to stir it. And I'm fixing, I told y'all now, this is a mixture. This is what you call a loaded casserole. Got a little bit of everything, or a lot of things. Now I'm gonna put a cup of milk. Let me get this out. Cheese, sour cream. I think, is there a half a cup measuring cup over there, or did I put it back
You
up?
can use this one. All we had in that was just the pasta.
Well, it's such a small amount, Linda.
Oh, okay.
I hate to dirty a big measure.
So a half a cup?
A half a cup. I'm just gonna put a half a cup of sour cream in it. I thought I had it out,
There you go.
but I don't guess I did. Okay. This is a cup of whole milk. And the reason I've got it in this container is because I have 1% milk. And so I added some canned milk to it. Here, Linda, thank you.
You're welcome.
And so I wanted whole milk, so that's what I done. I used canned milk and 1% milk. Okay, I'll get that stirred up again in a minute, but I'm gonna, so I don't have to. I'm gonna put a half a cup. Would you hand me a
plain
spoon?
spoon?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now this is the kind of dish that somebody would fix if they were wanting something different and hearty. This is a hearty dish, right?
Yeah, it's a one dish meal.
Right.
You might want to serve it with salad or something. But this is a half a cup of sour cream.
You could even serve it with chips, couldn't you? Like Dorito chips?
Well, it's going to thicken up. It's
so
not going to be
it's
soup.
not going to be soup. Okay.
Not going to be
Okay.
soup. So, all right.
Yeah, because you didn't dilute those soups. You
No,
put that
I did
in there
not.
concentrated.
Yeah. Okay. I've got 1 can of pinto beans here that I've rinsed, and I use this little
Easy read.
colander,
A
easy
colander,
read
measuring
colander. It's got a measure. It's got measurements on it, and you just take your can of vegetables, dip it in this, and I rinse my beans. I'm gonna put beans in it because this meal has got potatoes, beans, meat, pasta, everything in it. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Okay. I'm trying to get it stirred up. Oh, I wanted to show y'all something, but I'll show it to you in a minute. Don't let me forget something that was Mama's that I thought about the other day. I wanted to show. I'm sure a lot of our friends can relate to it. Okay, now I'm gonna put. Let's see. Yeah, this is provolone, and I'm so messy in the kitchen. This is a 2-cup bowl. I'm just gonna put a cup of cheese in it.
Okay.
And get that all stirred up. Now you can go ahead and put the pasta in, Linda.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to having our help next week. With the camera. Y'all are gonna be so much happier whenever we got somebody manning the camera and that can show what we're doing and show us too. We're just having a hard time trying to to cook and show up. All right, now I'm gonna get this stirred a little bit better before I put the potatoes in here, because I don't want to stir this much after I put the potatoes in. And this makes a big dish, as you can see.
Are you gonna cook that with the lid on, Mary? Or
No,
with it off.
you
With it
cook
off.
it with
Okay.
it off, and but I want to get it stirred around.
That's a big.
It's a
big dish.
Yes, it is. I was thinking last night who I was going to take this to. I guess I can turn this off. We're not going to use that burner anymore. All I wanted to do was keep that meat. Now, if you want to use chicken, you could use chicken instead of the hamburger.
Right. You could use chicken.
You know? Okay, I think I've got it all mixed up good.
And we're going to be talking about leftovers later on in the year, but Mary, they could use this with turkey too, couldn't they?
Absolutely. Any kind of meat. Turkey, any ground meat, chicken. Okay, now I'm going to put my potatoes in here. And you can see this is very thick. But now I'm going to put all my potatoes, all them good potatoes and bell peppers in here. And I cook them potatoes, like I said, ahead of time, because this don't cook for 25 minutes. And this is, I don't think it would get done. Am I spilling it on the sides?
I was just wiping a little bit of it off.
All right.
Basically, everything is almost
It
done.
is. It is.
The
It's
pasta
just,
probably is al dente, but it's
but it won't take it
needs
long.
to cook
Right.
together and get everything.
All righty. Now, would you get a paper towel, Linda, please, and dampen it and wipe around the edges of it. I don't like anything hanging off on the side.
Sure will.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Piece of cheese right there. And now I'm going to put Parmesan cheese on top of this.
Now, did I miss any?
No, I think you got it, Linda. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just...
Probably gonna give like a little crusty top.
It is. That's what it's doing.
I love that.
Yep. I thought about, and I want to tell you what I started to do. I think of all kind of things to do that's different, and but it would have made it what I was talking about, making not a crust, but something else you could use for a crust, and that's hash browns.
You could use hash browns or Ritz crackers
Yeah.
or something else, but the cheese will be good
Yeah.
too.
And then I'm gonna just sprinkle paprika on it, give it a little color. Not much. And then some dried parsley.
That's beautiful, Mary.
So just makes it cool. And now we put it in the oven.
Okay.
Let me put it a
Yeah,
little
let me
closer
see
so
it.
they can
And
see.
I'm gonna put it in the oven for you.
But that's
beautiful.
our loaded casserole.
Okay.
One of my specialties. My specialty.
What? Oh,
It's not hot. It's not hot. That's okay,
I'll
not
give
hot.
it, Mary. So
Okay.
you don't-
It's not hot. But
It will be when you take it out.
yeah, it will be when you take it out of the oven. That's right.
Okay. Now, what you want me to set the timer on?
25 minutes, Linda.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this sour cream up, and then we can talk.
Okay, I'm going to do T1. You said 25 minutes?
25 minutes.
Well, you know what? I'm going to clear that and I'm going to start a new
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Show you how easy it is to do. Just push
Here,
it
let
till
me-
you want 25 minutes. And then go.
All right.
Start
25
the
minutes.
countdown.
In 25 minutes, our loaded casserole will be. I don't think you'll find this casserole anywhere in a cookbook.
Put this back on.
Because this is my recipe.
So,
Okay.
what you going to show them?
I want to.
Mama.
You remember this?
Yes, I do.
This is called a promise box. Y'all remember this? It's like a loaf of bread, and it's got little scriptures in it.
And on the back it says our daily bread.
Our daily bread. And I'm gonna pick one and read it, and then you can pick one, Linda.
Okay.
Get one out here. But you remember this at Mama's
Yes,
house?
I do.
We used to go in, and she had this sitting on her bar, her crack above her sink, and I'm gonna read it. Adequate now, acquaint thyself with him, and be at peace. Thereby good shall come unto thee. Job 22:21. So that is a good scripture. Of course, all scriptures are good, but
A good promise.
yeah, good promise. Put it back in there.
Okay.
These are old, Linda. I don't know
They are
how
old.
long. Mama had these back. I don't know if she got them after we moved to Mississippi in '67, or she had them at home. I can't remember.
I don't know, but
I
she's
just
had
remember
them a
these
long
being
time.
out when we first moved to Mississippi. I remember that. That was back in
This is Psalms 121 and 2. One of my favorite scriptures. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
And these are
that
in
was
really good
and they're in
condition.
good shape too. They're
Let's see,
for to be
does
so
it have any
old.
writing on the bottom?
I've looked,
No.
but I didn't see.
It's got our
Look,
Daily
what does it
Bread
say
promise
right there?
box on it.
What does it say right there? It says made in Hong Kong.
Oh. You're reading the bottom. I thought you were reading the
No,
top.
right there, right
Oh,
there.
okay.
I was seeing if there was a date on there, Linda. It's a number.
It's got to be.
It's got a
from
number.
from the at least the 60s.
Yeah, it was
Probably.
it was in the '60s. Yeah,
From the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Seems like a lifetime ago.
it
don't
does. It does. But I always, you know, whenever you're raising a family and you're away from Mama, and then when you go see Mama at home, just everything stands out to you.
Yeah,
you know,
it does.
And this always stood out to me.
Yeah.
So.
It does. You see
Yeah.
things that Mama made us that you know wouldn't mean a thing to nobody
Yeah.
else, but that are
Just
that
a little-
hold such a special place. To
Just
us.
a little something like this always was good.
And a shout out to Chauncey Fonville. His birthday is Saturday.
Is
He's a
it?
year older than Carla,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so I want to say happy birthday to Chauncey. You know, he lost his mom
yes.
in July, and 20 days later, Sister Jean, who raised him,
Right.
also passed away. So we love Chauncey, and we think of, when we
We
think of
think-
Carla, we think of
We
Chauncey
sure
'cause
do.
they grew
We
up together.
They sure do.
They were
such sweet little babies. They were so
kids
sweet.
at the same at
Yeah.
the same time. Sister Jean actually brought him to our house. She were married. Of course, she had Carla wasn't born, but you were married, and it must not have been 30 minutes after he was born.
Yeah.
They were born at home. They had
Yeah.
their babies at home, and we lived in their backyard. And she bundled him up
Him
and
up
brought
and
him
brought
out
you
there
here.
and showed me and
Yeah.
Mama. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, yeah. We have a lot of memories, and a memory popped up this morning. You know, back just 3 years ago, and that's still memories. And it seems like it's been a
I
long
know.
time. Of Aaron and Ethan, they were so small, so
Just-
little. We met at the restaurant. Remember,
Yes.
you came over there too, and in Longview, and had a family meal together with them when they were down visiting.
3 years makes
3
such a
years,
difference
and
in kids'
we're little
lives,
kids,
you
right?
know.
They
They
just
grow so
they've
fast.
grown so fast, and little Ethan was playing the piano when he was here this over the summer, and he just loved it and was really doing pretty good because Shelly has had lessons, and so she was showing him a few things. So Shelly's husband bought her a keyboard for her birthday, and Ethan was so in love. First picture I seen of Ethan in a few months of him smiling. Remember, he's at the age he don't want his picture taken. He don't want to smile, and all of his pictures he's always got a kind of a frown on his face. But man, in that picture of him sitting on that bench with that keyboard, he had a grin from ear to ear. Didn't you think?
He's musically inclined, and
Yes,
Chase,
he is.
I mean, Chase is an excellent
His
drummer. His dad.
yeah, he plays the drums in a band, or he used to have a band. I don't think he actually does now.
And
You know,
very talented.
when you get married, you have so many obligations, and he's such a hard worker. Chase is. So, anyway, let me turn the light on. We're gonna have a few minutes, and I actually was thinking about making a salad, but I think we'll just stand here and talk, Linda.
Yeah, I think that
Because,
sounds good. There's no
um,
use in dragging something else out and doing something. And
Salad. I got the stuff for the salad, but I just I think we need to relax a few minutes and just talk to our friends.
I think that
You know,
sounds good. I think it does.
We're still looking forward to getting our website up, and we mention that every time, but we really are getting close.
And
Thank
we'll,
the Lord.
And we'll announce the apron winner after this is over.
Right.
We'll draw and then
Right.
get back on real quick. And you're going to be on your other page too.
Yes.
Right after we finish, or a few minutes after we finish
Right.
today.
And
then I'll have to drive home, but I'll be on mine later on
Yeah.
today too.
I'll be showing, and Linda also will be showing some more of the new pieces, the new items.
And
So-
what we're going to give away this month.
Oh, that's right. And yes,
Because we didn't do that yesterday.
Right, we're going to give away
We were in
another gift at the end. We're not giving away a gift today. We're going to show the gift that we're giving at the end of September.
We were
Is that
so
right?
busy.
Is that what you're
Yes,
doing?
we were
That's
so
what I'm
busy
doing.
yesterday that we didn't have
Yeah.
time to get everything out. So like
Yeah.
we normally do on the first. So anyway, it was a nice day though. But oh my goodness, Mary, it was hot.
It was hot.
I had
yesterday.
about 4 places I wanted to go to, and 2 of them I didn't go. It was just
Yeah.
so hot.
It drains your energy when you get
it's
out.
sickening to me.
Yeah.
I can be out for a little while and then I want back in my air conditioned space.
You know, Dave mentioned about it is really hot down here because he's from the state of Washington. But you know what? They've had some high temperatures
Yes,
up there
they've
too.
had some very
They've
very
had
hot
some
temperatures.
lot more than
Very
what
hot
they've
temperatures.
seen in the past. Looking out the window, Linda, look at those leaves are turning.
Yep,
See
they're
that?
starting to turn.
They're
They
turning.
sure are.
They're turning yellow. The leaves outside.
And leaves are falling on our yard.
Yeah.
I
know. I gotta get the cover
didn't
on the
have
poo.
any. I know.
Yeah, the leaves are falling in that poo. Because Chuck said, "Mama, when you gonna get that cover?" Our cover last year, a tree limb fell on it and split it. So I got to buy a new poo cover. So I've got to get that done. I just keep putting things off. It's just, I don't know why that I have so much to do, but I do.
Well, we pride ourselves in being busy and staying busy, and believe me, we do. The end of the month, me and Mary both was on the phone till 10:30, 11 o'clock that
Yep.
night,
Yep.
working on the phone with people. And then last night, I didn't work that late, but
I didn't either.
But I
didn't
was
either.
very, very
I
tired.
think it's like 6:30. I think 6:30 or 7. I think the last time I finally got the last thing done on the computer related to some things I was having to take care of. So anyway, we had, a meeting Dave yesterday. It makes you want to meet other.
Makes us want to get out.
It
and
makes
meet
us
y'all
wanna meet-
so much.
It
Y'all don't
does.
know how much
It
we
does.
love being
Yeah.
face to face and the energy
Yeah.
from being face to face with someone.
right.
We love doing our lives on here. Don't get me wrong, but if we could, we'd meet
Yeah,
everybody. We'd be
I
on the
would
road
love
all
to.
the time, but then we wouldn't be able to do
We
this.
wasn't
So.
able- we're not able to do that.
Wishful thinking, right?
Right. We're not able to do
Maybe
it.
10
'cause
years ago, but not
I
now.
have to have rest some during the week, during the daytime. I have to not be. It's not that I have to lay down, take a nap or anything. I just can't be on the rush. Just running constantly trying to do something. I can't do that anymore. But that's, that's okay. That's okay with me. I've learned to accept it. I don't like it, but I've learned to accept it.
We don't. Any of us like it. But the other thing, and you mentioned the other day, we have aprons. We have aprons here at the printer, but they're not done yet. We have our pink ones, and we also have
We order
white
white ones just like these.
So some of you have asked for white ones, so we will have them, but it's probably going to be right at the last of the month before we get them.
I think he said, was it the 27th
25th, maybe.
25th?
And we are down to our last cookbook or two. So for those of you who have ordered in the last week, we expect them in. I think she
13th?
told me they would be done the 13th and shipped. So it'll be mid-month or the next week before we get them shipped. So if you've ordered one, don't panic. We'll get them to
Right,
you.
and
We're
I
just
have-
waiting on them.
And I've got about 4 people that have sent checks, and I don't have the cookbooks. So if you've sent a check in the last week, we're gonna have to wait till the 13th to ship those.
And you haven't deposited them yet, or
I have
you?
not deposited
Okay.
them.
So if you've sent a check and you're wondering
Yes.
why your check hasn't
I have
cleared,
not deposited those 4 checks because I don't like to deposit until at least the day that I send them off. So I have not deposited the checks. And also, and I hadn't told you this, Linda, I picked up a cookbook yesterday from the post office, and I had to pay the postage on it, but that's neither here nor there. that was been sitting at the post office since March.
From
From in
a bad
another
address?
state. No, they said the people didn't live there, but it was in March, and they're the ones who wrote the address, and so I will we'll have to look it up and see if she's got a phone number or something. Now, like I said, I hadn't mentioned it to Linda, but it'd been sent to the post office, and nobody's claimed it, so.
Yeah,
We can't help those kind of things. So if you ordered in March and you hadn't got the cookbook, well, let us know. I'll tell you another thing. We really don't like for you to wait a month. Now, right now, we do have things on hold
Right.
because we don't have the cookbook.
But we've told them that.
Normally, normally when you order a cookbook, if you haven't received that cookbook within a month after you ordered, please let us know, because there's no point in y'all waiting longer than a month for a cookbook. If we got them in stock, and we've had them in stock up into the last week.
We're shipping once a week right now when we have the books in stock. So once the invoices are printed, then you should have your book within 2 weeks.
Yeah, you should, but you can wait a month because hey, the way the postal system is.
Yeah.
But just let us know. We just don't like, because we don't know, people, y'all out there thinking that, we've done you wrong, and that, where's my cookbook, and I've done paid for it, and the check's done been deposited. Don't wait so long to let us know.
Yeah,
So,
we don't want anything.
because we don't know
ours.
that.
We don't.
We fill them as we get them. Sometimes the printer, I think sometimes skips. Is that what happens sometimes, or what?
We have a system that we print. We count each page orders, and then we print them and we recount them. But we know there has been a time or two that a page was skipped.
Yeah, and didn't print.
Ever since the beginning of the year, I've done this double check system, but I think even with that, we've had a couple that did not print.
So if you've ordered it, like you say, let us know within a month. Well, at least give us a month. If you haven't gotten it, we'll text, and don't put it in comment. Please don't put what you want to get the message to us. Don't put it in comments, because we may overlook it or not see it. So if you want to do it, put it on that business phone, or
text or inbox us.
Yes, 903-235-4804. Text us and then we'll get it then.
Right,
We'll
we'll pay attention to it.
Right. Where's our timer at?
Okay.
Is that 11 seconds?
Nope, we got 11 more minutes.
11
more minutes. I was thinking about, we never lived too many places in our life.
No.
But I was thinking about, we always associate home with our home on Looneyville Road in Nacogdoches, Texas. That's the house our daddy built, and that's where we lived the majority of our life.
Right. Linda, you know what? I think it's just all grown up now. But we might, one day, whenever this COVID slacks down or whatever, we might just go do a little video, and it's just a plot now. I mean, it's just grown up. But it's still my home.
Yes,
to us.
I go by there every time I go to Nacogdoches, and I always stop. There's nowhere to park because there's it's fenced off, so you can't pull in. But where Pinky Mall's house was to the right of our house, and then ours was there. But the tree is what is so special to me, because that's where Daddy tied all of his nets.
Yeah.
And we sat out there peeling tomatoes or whatever we were doing in the summertime when it's scorching hot. I'd love to do that.
Don't it look smaller than it did when we were growing up?
Everything looks smaller when you're an adult than it did
seemed like
when you
we had the biggest lot on the
we had a few acres, but it was deep.
Right.
And if you consider our property and Pinky Paw's property, it was probably, oh my goodness, I don't know how to measure anything, but
it looks small now.
It was probably twice, maybe 1.5 times from your property line from end to end, maybe 1.5 times that.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I have an acre and
I
almost
would
acre and a
love
half.
to put on a pair of boots and walk the property is what I would love to do. Walk from
I'd
the
almost
front
be
to the back.
afraid to. You remember we had a cellar. We had a storm cellar.
Yeah.
And Linda, remember when the people was sitting out on their front porch when we were looking at it? We got out looking at it, and they told us that whenever the house, when we sold the house, the people we sold the house to did not keep it up. So it just, how a home is.
Has to be
It has to be maintained, and so they didn't maintain it. So it got pretty bad shape. So they had to tear it down. And they said that when they tore it down, he said, "Did you know those people had a wine cellar out there?" It was a big hole.
It was a storm house.
It was
There
a
wasn't
storm
a
house.
bottle of wine ever in our house. I can guarantee you that. But we had one in the front of the house first.
On the side. On the
Yes,
side.
on the side,
Mhm.
past where the living room
Right.
was. This one we had to go outside to.
Right.
And that's where Mom and Daddy left me standing in the front door,
I
me
know.
screaming my head off because one of
She
them,
was scared to death.
I was horrified of bad weather. One of them thought the other one had me, and the other one, but Daddy come back and got me. And then later on, they filled that one in, and then later on, we built one at the back. They dug one at the back of the house. You remember that?
Well, you know
Back
what?
there by the chicken house.
I do.
That's
I do
where,
remember that.
That's where
the
we
storm
went in
hit.
when Charles was throwing grit papers.
Yes.
And
I
we
do.
went back
I do
there. We
remember
were in that one.
Yes.
Then when we built onto the house, they were always building onto our
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
When they built on and built the two new rooms, the bedroom and the living room,
Mm-hmm.
before they built it, they dug this huge. It was a big
storm cellar.
storm cellar. It was all concreted and walled in. It had shelves, it had electricity, and in Mom and Daddy's bedroom, in the closet door, you pick up the closet door and walk
And that
down the
was
stairs.
the stair. That was the
One
entrance
of the
into the cellar.
happiest days of my life
Daddy
when that was
didn't want-
completed.
Daddy didn't want us getting out in that weather no more. If we had to go in the storm cellar, so we just go in the bedroom, open the door, closet, and walk down into the cellar.
And Mama kept her canned stuff
She
down
did.
there.
She
kept her
absolutely
canned
did.
stuff. But that was hilarious. That guy
I
saying
know.
we had a wine cellar.
I know that's what I guess that's what the talk of the town was. Whenever it collapsed when the house, they tore the house down. That we had a big old hole with the cellar in there.
That's so funny. I can imagine Mama hearing that. She would
Yeah.
think, "Oh my Lord."
Mama didn't know that because we learned that after
Yeah,
Mother
we
had
did.
died.
So we got about 6 more minutes left.
We'll check.
And cars. You was talking about cars the other day, Mary. Cars. Our cars.
Oh yeah, I remember the first car Daddy bought, 1953.
A
wasn't it?
1953
Ford.
Ford Fairlane. It
Right.
was red. It was
Right.
beautiful.
And he paid cash for it. My daddy didn't
And
believe
how
him.
much did he pay for it?
I think it's $3,500.
And
If
this
I
was-
remember correctly, it's
This
about
was a 53
$3,500.
Ford.
Yeah.
We went to Pennsylvania in it.
Yeah, we did.
In September, about this time of year,
Yep.
because school had already started. And of course, there was no air conditioner. People
No.
didn't have things like that back then.
No.
Roll down windows.
Pinky Ma went with us.
Pinky Ma went with us. So there was us 6, and Pinky Ma was 7
7.
in the car.
We didn't have seatbelt laws then.
No. And we had that car from 53 until Daddy bought the 59
59.
Ford.
Mhm.
And it was two-tone green. He bought these cars at Tipton Ford in Nacogdoches on East Main, or West Main. I guess it's West Main after you cross 59,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I
West
think
Main. And he always had them serviced there. He would not take them to any mechanic or any dealer. He'd have them serviced
Right.
at the Ford place. And that car, it wasn't brand new, was it? Or was it
Yeah,
brand
the
new?
59 was new.
It was new,
59 was
okay.
new. The 59 was new, but he traded that
And for the white station wagon. Now,
and it wasn't.
It was not
It
new.
was not.
And it was huge. This
that was
car
after Daddy was
huge.
sick. That was after Daddy.
And that's the car that we went to Little Rock Camp meeting
Right.
in 63
Right.
and broke because we had so much luggage. It broke the axle on it. Daddy-
carried all these young people to camp and all the luggage.
And
Yeah.
he never complained about it.
No.
Never complained
My
about
daddy
it.
did not raise his voice. He didn't holler, scream, or cuss, or I mean,
No.
he didn't drink. He was a
was-
very mellow, calm
Yes,
person.
He was very,
Very.
very gentle. Mama
Yeah.
described him as a gentle
Yeah.
man. Now, don't confuse that with not being a man. Daddy was a man, and he
Yeah.
was he done all kinds of things that men did except hunt, and he didn't hunt because he couldn't hear.
Right. Right.
But he fished and trapped and raised watermelons, and I think that was your
4
phone.
minutes.
I think that was your phone.
Yeah.
And so we had that car. That was the car we had when Daddy died.
Yes, the station wagon. Yeah.
And then when that weekend that we went to Mississippi, Mama had traded the white station wagon off for a small car.
What was that?
It was blue.
Blue. That's
it
what
was
I thought
blue.
it was blue. Yeah.
And I think it was a Ford. I'm pretty sure
I
that
think
it was a Ford.
Yeah.
It was a smaller car, and she
Right.
traded it off, and she hadn't.
With the Mississippi in.
Right. No, we didn't. We didn't go to Mississippi in it because Mama was afraid to go in it because she hadn't had it long. We went to Mississippi in Charles's brand new Bel Air.
Oh, the first time.
Chevrolet.
Okay. I remember driving that blue car though to Shreveport because
Yeah.
I was 18. I had my license, and I remember driving the blue car. But we went.
Yes,
in
Charles's car was not even a year old, and it was a stick shift. And he come in
I
there and
don't
told
remember
Mama.
that. I don't
Mom,
remember.
we were trying to decide whether or not to go, and Charles come in there and told Mama. He said, "Mama, take my car," and he gave her the
I don't
keys,
remember.
and that's what we went in. Was Charles's
Yeah.
Bel Air
Yeah.
Chevrolet? Yeah.
Uh,
And then after we got to Mississippi, Mama bought that new Impala. Remember? She bought a new Impala, and some of the kids told Edward, there is no way. Now, y'all have to remember, this was 1965. Women didn't get things in their name, and
yeah, well, Mama hadn't worked in so many years. She only worked a few years at the school as a
and she worked
cafeteria.
at H.O. Hunt in the deboning chicken.
Oh, that's right. I remember. I forgot about that time.
But
she didn't work much.
Yeah, she didn't, and
our
stuff like
childhood.
working in the fields when they were weighing
Right,
cotton, but
right.
that was not on a public job.
Right.
So they told Edward, they said, "Your mama, there is no way your mama's going to get no car in her name." Edward said, "Well, you just hide and watch." Mama got that
We were
brand
known in
new
Nacogdoches
car.
as having being honest.
Yeah, good
and
good
good
credit,
name.
good
Yeah.
name. And she got that brand new car,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's when she was working at the meat market in Crystal Springs with Richard Jackson.
Yeah. I do remember when she worked there. Yeah.
And then, oh my goodness, Mike, Mama had, I guess her next car was that little blue Vega
Yes.
that she bought.
Mhm.
And that
I
was a
forgot
little
about
bitty
that
car.
one, but I
that
do
was in the
that
70s.
was little. Yeah, that
It was
car
very
was
little.
Yeah. She
And,
came to see us with that car.
And then when Mama moved back to Texas from Mississippi, she bought a pickup. Remember? She bought a pickup.
Now, car landed?
And she drove that pickup because, the roads were bad down there, and I guess that little car didn't do good on the roads, and she bought her a pickup. She sure
I
did.
forgot all about that, Linda.
She bought her a pickup.
She brings up things. I remember it after she says it, but I just had forgot all about that.
She
I
sure
forgot
did.
all about that.
And then was the Mazda the next car she got, or did she get another car before she got the Mazda when you were working at the Mazda place in
Okay.
South Texas?
I worked in Mazda in '89.
Okay.
That's when I worked at Mazda.
She would have had to have another car
I think
between
she
then,
did.
but between that pickup and that Mazda,
She
because the
did.
Mazda was the last car she had.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that old
No,
when she died.
it was.
So
She bought it in '89 or '90, because that's when I worked at Mazda for 3 or 4 years,
We
and
got-
I know '89 was the year I moved there.
we're getting a lot of dings. Do you reckon
I
we
know
ought to
it.
check
Let
it
me
in case
check
it's
and see.
Carla?
My
Carla may be trying to tell us something.
Okay. No. What it is, we have a brother in our church, and add him to your prayer list. It's a brother in our church that he just found out just a few months ago that he has cancer, and
Was he at Chuck's
lungs.
birthday party?
He was at Chuck's birthday party. Lungs, had cancer in the lungs, and in the brain, and several other, and
That is so
and now
sad.
he's in the hospital with COVID.
Oh,
He was taking radiation. So that's our prayer. That's people that's
Prayer chain.
texting. We have a prayer chain going, and they text when they're saying this. They're praying, and so if you'll call his name in prayer. His wife took COVID also, but she's getting better. She's at home. The Lord's good. He knows the circumstances, so I won't call his name because I don't have permission to, but just call his name, the brother that's got COVID, that has cancer. Just call his name in prayer. God is able, and we believe in prayer. So.
Okay, Mary, the
All
timer
right,
went
timer
off.
went
So,
off. Let's get it out.
okay.
Let me get a thing to put it on. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're gonna put it right there.
Okay, don't back up.
I won't.
I'm using double pot holders just in case.
Okay. Yeah, that pot, that enamel cast iron pot, it's heavy.
But it's manageable.
Yes.
It's not something you
Yes.
can't lift.
Yes.
And Mary can lift it too, and Mary would.
Oh
lift
yeah,
it if
I can
wasn't
lift it.
here.
My sister's just
But I'm just doing it
Yeah.
because
see it
I can.
bubbling.
That's beautiful, Mary.
So that is a loaded casserole, and it is my recipe.
That is gorgeous.
Okay.
How many do you think that would feed?
Oh, that'll feed a lot, Linda. Let's just do it this
At
way.
least 6 people?
One. Oh, we'd feed more 6 people. I'd say
Probably
10.
8 to 10,
Yeah,
depending
8
on
to
the
10
serving.
people. Depends on that. Man, if you're serving this for a whole
touched that.
meal, Linda, I just love it.
I'm probably gonna be the one to touch it. She's not the one that touches it. It's me.
She is on me all the time for something.
She's probably gonna reprimand me when we get off there.
No, I won't. That's just my sister. Man, I imagine I get on her nerves so bad, but that's okay. That is just my sister.
Knives and hot stuff.
So anyway, well, let's get a plate and see what
wanna get
tastes. Yeah. Let's see here. Get a big spoon over here.
So they can see
Okay. If this would be a meal, just maybe have a salad or just not a salad.
This and a dessert would be good.
Oh yeah. And it did thicken up. Now I'll tell you, if you let it sit here a little
It's gonna
bit,
thicker.
it will thicken up. So,
Yeah.
but this is just coming out of the oven. Get you a fork. Give me one too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna push that back so I won't
Here.
be eating right over it. You don't mind, Linda? I'll pick up the trivet. Okay. All right.
The cheese smells good.
Let's just taste this thing. Remember, I know it's not on my diet, but I'm gonna try it. Whew.
It's
It's
smoking
hot, right? Yeah, it'll thicken up. It's not real thin now, but it will thicken up.
Mm,
How's it taste?
really good.
It's hot.
Seasonings are delicious in it. Very delicious.
It is good. And I could eat a whole plate full, but it's not on my diet. So I'm gonna call a couple people in church and bring them a meal. It is good. And like I said, it's loaded casserole. That means it's got just about everything I could think of to put in it.
They're gonna like that,
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
They are.
It's good. And like I said, you can use any pasta, any meat. I challenge y'all, just get in the kitchen and make up your own recipe.
Yeah,
That's what
if they
I
don't
do.
have pinto beans, they can use another kind
You
of
can use
beans.
corn.
Kidney beans.
You can use corn in it too instead of the beans, or both. Just whatever. Just use it proportion wise, because you don't want to put so many things in there that it's too thick. So anyway, I won't always give y'all a recipe that I've made. I've got a lot of good recipes, but I just want to try something different. So
We'll be back on in just shortly to announce the apron winner.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to watch us on our other channel a little bit later on. Mary will be first, and then I'll be. It'll probably be the middle of the afternoon before I get on, because I've got a couple of stops to make on the way home. So we've enjoyed visiting with y'all today, and hope y'all have enjoyed us.
we love y'all. Take
Count your
care.
blessings.
Count your blessings. We love you.
Stay cool.
Bye bye.